Am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really know you are.
Today we are going to be making these cute pretty patties. Before we get started, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need 3 colors of yarn, your choice, a 5.5 hook, 1 stitch marker, and fluff of your choice. First thing we're going to do is start our magic knot. You're going to take 2 fingers, wrap your yarn around like that. Then you're going to take this piece of yarn and wrap it around again. Stick your hook in, pull it through, slide it off your fingers, and then hold it and make 1 knot. After we make our magic knot, or we can do the 2-chain method, we're going to do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. And then once you have 6 single crochet inside your circle, you're going to pull on your working yarn to tighten up your circle. I'm trying my best not to break my yarn right here. Then you're going to insert your hook into that first single crochet that we made. And you're going to make another single crochet. Once you have that made, you're going to grab your stitch marker and insert that hook into that same crochet we just made. That is the first crochet of the first stitch of the second round. Now you're going to put your hook into that same stitch you just went into and put another single crochet, and that's how you do an increase. So we're going to do 6 increases all the way around. You should have a total of 12 stitches by the time you're done. Once we're finished with row 2, putting in all of our increases, we're going to take out the stitch marker, insert our hook into that first stitch from this round, and make a single crochet right on top. Reinsert our stitch marker, and now we are on row 3. So for round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet and an increase. Just getting my hand positioning right here, getting it in. Then you're going to do that first single crochet, and you're going to do an increase like the last round. And then we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around. Once we get to the end of that round, we're going to take out our stitch marker, insert our hook into the first stitch from that round, and make a single crochet, reinsert. Think y'all got this part down already. Two single crochet and then an increase. So just like the first round before, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and then do an increase. And then repeat 6 times all the way around. Now that we have that round done, that's about the size that our bun is going to be. We're going to take our stitch marker out, start our next round. For the next 2 rounds, we're just going to do single crochets all the way around. And that's going to give our bun a nice full shape. For our next round, we're going to need to color change. So what you're going to do is take out your hook and undo that last stitch that you made. Then you're going to redo the stitch, but only do the first 2 loops on your hook. Do not complete it, and grab your second color. Then you're going to grab your second color and pull it through those 2 loops that's still on the hook. And that's how you do a color change. Take out your stitch marker. Now in this round, we're only going to be going through the front loop only. So you're going to take your hook and go in between the V and only pick up the first loop. For this round, we're going to do 3 single crochet into every stitch, but we're only going into the front loop. So 3 single crochets into every front loop stitch. When you put your stitch marker on, you're going to put your stitch marker on the back loop, so when we go all the way around, we'll know where we started at. Once you finish putting in those 3 single crochet into each stitch, you should have this nice ruffle. That's our lettuce. Next thing you're going to do is grab your third color, and we're going to do another color change. We're not going to use that second color anymore, so I'll just go ahead and snap that off. Now that we've made our color change, we're going to go into that back loop from the last round where our stitch marker is and make 1 single crochet. Replace our stitch marker, and then we're going to do single crochets all the way around in the back loop only. Here I am attempting to show you what a back loop is. And then for our next round, we're just going to single crochet all the way around again. And that is going to complete our patty. And now that we're reaching the final stitch of that round, we're going to color change back into our first color. So we should have 3 colors on our project now. We're going to snap that pink color, and then right here I'm just stuffing everything inside, all my extra pieces that I'm not using, everything that I snipped off. I'm just stuffing it inside and getting it out the way. For this round, we're going to color change, and then once again we're going to single crochet all the way around. For our next round, we're going to go ahead and begin closing up our pretty patty. We're going to start our round with 1 single crochet, insert our stitch marker, and then another single crochet, and then what you just see me do was a decrease. So I went into the front loop of 1 stitch, then I went into the front loop of a 2nd stitch, and then I made a single crochet. So insert into the front loop of 1, front loop of 2, pull your yarn through so there's 2 loops on your hook, and then pull all the way through those 2 hooks. Then you're going to do 2 single crochet and a decrease all the way around. Once you reach the end of that round, we're going to start our next round. This round is going to be 1 single crochet decrease. So we're doing just like the round before, except instead of doing 2 single crochets, we're doing 1 single crochet and then going into those 2 front loops and pulling through. I got a little out of focus here, but I'm still just doing the 1 single crochet decrease. And now I'm going to grab some fluff and fluff up my patty. Go ahead and grab your stuffing and stuff it nice and firm. So now that you got it all fluffed up nice and firm, we're going to remove the stitch marker. I did not replace my stitch marker because I know I'm just doing 6 decreases all the way around. So I'm just going to stick my hook into those front 2 loops and pull through like we did before. But this time I'm going to be sure to count my stitches so I know I do exactly 6 and everything comes out nice and uniform. And then once you're all done, you're just going to snip your yarn. Make sure to leave a long enough tail for tucking. And there you are. Now you have your prettier patty. All nice and firm and cute. You can use whatever colors you want to use. Here's a few that I made before. You can see the size difference. I used a size 5 hook for the smaller one and a 5.5 hook for the 2 bigger ones with the same size yarn. So these are completely customizable. I would love to see what you make. And yeah, tune in for another video.